The Rating Room is a new weekly podcast hosted by Jay and Andy.
In Season 1, we'll be rewatching and discussing one of the biggest movie franchises of all time.
You can follow us on the usual social media channels by searching The Rating Room.
You can also find more information on our website, www.theratingroom.com, and make sure to subscribe to The Rating Room wherever you find your favourite podcast.
The Rating Room.
Hello there, and welcome to Sweet Child of Time. It's me, your host, Steve Barnes. I never say my name, but I did today. I remembered. I know somebody else's name. I used to think his name was Marsh Land Monster, but then I realized he actually has a real human name, and it is James McCollum. He's with me today. Hello, James.
I see you with light and shade.
Thank you. I see.
Chips ahoy.
And every catchphrase in between.
My voice, I truly just got done recording a song, and if you heard my voice crack, that's why. I'm not going through puberty.
A little too old for that. Been there, done that.
I have pubes.
I have episode 7. I didn't say that yet. We're talking about Wheel of Time today. Episode 7, The Dark Along the Ways. Episode 3. This is episode 3, is it?
Yes, Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Everything's wrong.
Yeah, that made zero sense. Don't listen to any of that. Episode 7 today, The Dark Along the Ways. And James, before we get into this, I stepped into a Reddit group that I kind of regret stepping into now. I made one of my patented Steve weird memes that, some people got and some people didn't. And I posted it in the regular Wheel of Time Reddit board. Mm-hmm. And then most of the people were, I don't understand this. What are you saying? And then the other half were like, this is great. You should be posting this on r/Wetlander Humor, which is like a subset of a Wheel of Time group that is basically the same thing as like the Free Folk over there at the Game of Thrones. Are you familiar with that?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Never seen an episode.
It's like it's a Reddit subset of people that kind of don't agree with the general populace, and they kind of have their own way of thinking. And looking through these posts and Wetlander humor, at first I was like, I found my people. This is it. Like, everybody gets this type of humor. Mm-hmm. I posted my meme there. It was a huge hit. Everybody loved it. But I soon found out through the comments that another common thread among Wetlander humor individuals is they hate the TV show. And these are people that you would definitely call the book cloaks that review bomb stuff and trash talk the show. And I was like, I love you all, but I don't like this aspect of you. I'm very sorry.
Was one of them like, hey, you should check out my IMDb reviews. I go by WOT Purist.
I was looking for him. I'm sure he's in there somewhere. I mean, it's a fine subreddit with great memes, great jokes, but definitely the TV show haters. They're not liking episode 7 at all.
No.
Which I actually thought episode 7, watching it now, that's usually what my go-to response is like, yeah, I thought Wheel of Time was great. Didn't really care for episode 7 and 8. Now I realize I think it's just episode 8 that I have all like the bad memories associated with, because this episode, the only thing I really had problems with was like the Perrin-Rand interaction, but that was just based on book stuff, not on TV viewing. So I really didn't have much issue with this episode.
What was there to have issue with the Rand and Perrin thing? Was it the only woman I love was my wife?
That nice lean in with the shadow across Rand's face.
What are you insinuating? Sir, vocal fry.
Blank expression on the face. Yeah. But I don't know, James. It has been a while since we talked. Before we get into Wheel of Time, has there been any other TV shows that you've been into lately? I'm getting into lots of stuff.
I started watching the newer seasons that we haven't watched of The Carbonaro Effect. Have you seen that?
No, I've never even heard of it.
It's a magic prank show hosted by Michael Carbonaro.
Okay.
And he's very funny. He was in Not Another Gay Movie or Another Gay Movie. I forget the parody situation of that. We watched it for This Movie's Gay. I very much enjoy him. He's very funny. Like, his sense of humor is perfect for a reality show that is magic based. So check that out. But as we're watching it, because one of my friends, PJ from the Rewind, he was pranked on this show because they did a season in Chicago. So we're waiting to get to whenever that shows up. But then I was like, wait a second. I pause it and I'm like, let me go back in these credits. And I'm like, oh, yeah, our best friend, Andrew Melzer, who has done The Street Wizard's Apprentice, Morph Bots, Todd Grobens, and I scored one of his shorts, Special Delivery. I'm like, didn't he work on this show? And I rewind, Andrew Melzer as a magic consultant. And the reason why he got that show is someone in the production was like, oh, I know someone who can do magic stuff. He worked on something called The Street Wizard's Apprentice. And this was a fake it until you make it thing, because The Street Wizard's Apprentice is just what looks like a homely man down on his luck who is a wizard teaching someone. He lives on the street, and this is someone who is the street wizard's apprentice. It is not a magic show. It is a scripted show about a wizard. Everyone should check it out. It's on Amazon Prime for, like, just to watch. And I'm like so excited. I'm like, hey, Melzer, look, it's our friend. And he's like, yeah, that's me. And I'm like, dude, you're so fucking cool. The stuff you've done. So check out Carbonaro Effect Season 3 when they're in Chicago.
Yeah, to bring this to my relation, I know who you're talking about now. I don't know the show, but I know that magician. Mm-hmm. He's appeared on High Maintenance. He did an episode of that.
I think he's also been on Never Not Funny, maybe?
I don't know about that, but he is great. He was fantastic. He's kind of looks like a square, right? Like short brown hair. Yeah, this guy is amazing. Like, and his magic is good too. But the episode of High Maintenance that he was on, he plays like a substitute teacher in a really like rundown, crappy school in like, you know, central New York. And he's trying to use magic to like relate with the kids, and the kids are all like, "Yo, look at this dude, he's fucked." And it's pretty great stuff. I'm not going to go into all the shows I've been watching, but I have been Mr. TV man here lately. I've had some time to kill this past weekend, sit in a hotel room for 48 hours. I watched all of Swarm, which is Donald Glover's new thing. Okay. And if anybody's into like the show Atlanta that Donald Glover did, and you're also into like unlikable, unreliable, fascinating main characters, this show is great. It's called Swarm.
Nicole might like that. I will not.
You might. I mean, it has a lot of horror elements to it. So it's
the unlikable stuff I don't enjoy. Unless it's campy unlikable, then I would like it. But if it's just like a serious show and they're unlikable characters, no thank you.
Okay, when I say unlikable, I mean like in the same way that you don't like a serial killer, but you'll watch a documentary about a serial killer, right?
Okay. But that's different. There's a fascination. This was a real person. I'm trying to figure out why they did the things they did.
And this one will keep you guessing. All right. I've been watching Yellow Jackets. Again, that might be a Nicole show that she might be more into. It's on Showtime. I had to like get a Showtime subscription to watch that one, but it's like about a high school soccer team that wins a national championship. Their plane crashes on the way. They survive in the mountains for 18 months. It's a big mystery how they survive and what they do. It's really intense. Season 2 starts next week. I wish I was doing a recap of that show. I mean, I should be doing it, but I'll be doing Dark next week, so no dice. And what else we got here?
Young Rock.
Huh?
Young Rock, that's another thing. We finished that real quick.
Yeah, how many seasons of Young Rock is out there?
3, and it's only maybe 36 episodes because the first season was only 10, and then the others are like 13.
From my perspective, I've heard you talking about it, but you're the only person that I've been hearing talk about it. So like that's a show like about, is it based on Rock's youth, but it's kind of fictionized, or is it completely like based on his youth?
It is based on his youth with comedic exaggerations at time.
Okay. But like every story you're going to see in there is basically true, but just maybe exaggerated.
Pretty much, or like, hey, this is something that happened to me. How can we make this actually good to watch? There's
Right.
things like that. Like, and there are times when he's like, that really happened. Like his mom or his grandmother beat a federal, like an FBI case, and on news, she like in this like public forum, she's like, I beat my case, I'm an innocent woman, hey FBI, kill yourself. And it's like, how was she allowed to say that? And she, in the show, it became a recurring joke of like, oh, FBI, kill themselves. It's very funny.
Yeah, right on. I've been watching The Last of Us like everybody else in America has been. And
I guess I'm not in America.
yeah, you're over there in Chicago, which is not part of America anymore, apparently. It's part of Ireland land, I understand. They painted the river green.
Yeah.
But The Last of Us, there's a significant thing that happened in an episode where and it ties in directly with this episode we watched today, episode 7 of The Wheel of Time, where there is a woman. The episode starts, it's a cold open, with a woman who is giving birth, and she is attacked as she's giving birth, and she has to fend off attackers while she is giving birth. And of course, that makes me think about like our opening scene to this episode where we have Tigraine giving birth and she's defeating like 6 guys by sword. So this scene was written for the show. This is not a scene out of the book of Wheel of Time. So it was written probably in 2020, 2021, something like that. And this episode of Last of Us, of course, just came out. So that was also written for the show. It was not in part of the game. So that was just written recently. Is that a unique circumstance? Because I've never seen it before. The Wheel of Time is the first place I've seen a woman giving birth and fighting off attackers.
Okay, so in the zombie realm, that is something that happens a fuck ton because it's like, having a child in the zombie apocalypse, that will suck. Also, A Quiet Place did it as well.
Okay. I don't remember them giving birth in A Quiet Place. Okay. I do now. Yes.
Yeah.
They had to stifle all that noise that she was.
All these things are so easy to solve when it comes to hordes and creatures that react audibly. To move them away from where you want, what you would do is get like a bullhorn that you can control and have multiples in different quadrants. So when you want to get to quadrant southeast southeast, you would want northwest to like go bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
So all of them go over there, then you shut it off while you're scurrying around in southeast.
Did they not do that in the movie?
No, they didn't. I've never seen someone successfully do this in any of these mediums. And I'm like, why? Maybe The Walking Dead did it in later seasons. I don't remember, or I haven't seen them, but it's just so easy.
Yeah.
Do that, guys.
Maybe it's like the same thing as like having a cell phone in a horror movie where all you need to do is make a phone call and the movie's over. So they don't want to introduce that to the plot because it's too simple.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing anyway. I guess the last thing I want to bring up before we get about Wheel of Time is like at the beginning of the episode, you didn't hear it, but I dropped it in there. We have like a new ad share space with some buddies at the Reading Room, which is a new podcast, not a new podcast, but it's a new to us podcast. It's got 30 episodes out there. They do a 007 James Bond podcast where they do all the movies in order. And it's pretty great. The guys are across the pond. I'm not going to guess where they're from because they don't say. And
you didn't go to their like Twitter and be like, oh, that's where they're from.
I did. I didn't see. They don't mention anywhere. We're like, we are from this city, this place. And so I just know from their accents that they're from across the pond, and they have great mics and their voices sound awesome. It's a great podcast, and they're featuring us over there on them. So hats off to you, the Rating Room. We are talking, though, about our episode, The Dark Along the Ways. Again, The Dark. We'll be starting that in a couple of weeks here with Miss Lindsay Dunn. We'll be giving James a break, and he'll be maxing and relaxing while me and Lindsay are working hard over here.
Absolutely not. You know, I work constantly. After this, I'm going to eat. Then I'm mixing the song that I just recorded.
Okay, well, I think we'll be going. I got about 2 hours marked here, so we'll be done.
You want to know what? Okay, yeah, you're getting another 40 from me, and then you get to do the other by yourself.
Oh, geez, I hate talking about I've done it before. I'm not going to do it again. It's boring.
It's fun, but it's also maddening if you keep doing it. From talking about Beyblade, oh boy.
Well, this Dark Along the Way is rewatching it. Like I said, it starts out with that birth with Tigraine on the shores of Dragonmount, the slopes of Dragonmount. And she's a redhead, James. I hope you noticed all that nice red hair and that pale skin of hers.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
Yeah. So, I mean, in 1899, there was a lot of talk about a brother named Syrian that you never actually saw, but they talked about him a lot as like an antagonist. And so there was always this mystery. Well, our lead character was a red, blatant red. And then there was one other guy on the ship that was about her age, a little bit older, also had red hair. They were the only two reds on the boat. So my assumption is that that's her brother. That's the brother that is Syrian, that is everybody's talking about all the time. It makes total sense to me. So I'm using the exact same logic here. Like, hey, this lady's got red hair. She gave birth. Rand's dad came and picked her up. Kind of seems like Rand is her kid. Seems like all signs point to that.
Yes.
So just using TV logic and just general logic, we're liking that red hair.
This is also how you know whoever the blacksmith is for this warrior is absolutely a man, because no protection on the baby bump.
Oh, God, you're right. That'd be like the first place you would do it. Your neck, your baby bump, your head.
Yeah.
She wasn't wearing a helmet either. I don't think Aiel are into helmets whatsoever. They're just...
Maybe it is like in between a normal warrior and a monk. Monks, at least in D&D standpoints, usually don't wear armor, or barbarians, and they're like kind of in between. Hey, keep my heart safe and that's it, but you got a heart down there in your belly.
Yeah, a little tiny one that needs lots of protection. Man, what about the reds? Yeah, she's red hair, Red Aja, the dragon. Why did I write down the Red Aja right there? That doesn't make any damn sense at all, James. The Red Aja has nothing to do with this scene whatsoever, do they?
Yeah, we don't hear about them until much later.
Yeah, so why did I write them down there? I don't know. My note taker must be whack today, but yeah, that's a nice cold open. And even people who dislike the show, my Wetlander humor pals, everybody's pretty much in agreement that this scene is like one of the best scenes of the show, period.
And it sure was a cold open.
It was doubly chilly. And I think this might be the last episode where they got to do some filming without having to worry about COVID. Because when they were in the ways, in the darkness there, that was, COVID protocols. I'm not sure about some of the other scenes. I know in episode 8, it's a lot more apparent because people are standing like 6 feet away from each other, visibly along the walls and stuff. I think this episode, they still did some filming pre-COVID.
It's probably good to do it in the ways because diseases probably can't live there.
I would say, and if they did, then that Mockin' Shin would just show right up and whip it away, I bet.
Yeah.
The ways. You can't use the one power in there, but they do anyway.
On accident,
but I know. That's why I can forgive her, because it's like her instinct is to protect and to protect herself and others, Nynaeve's that is. But at the same time, we've seen her take down 3 Trollocs with her hands. So that's, of course, that wouldn't help the plot out here. But that would have been a much cleaner kill if she could have taken that guy out with her spear or her knife.
But she didn't have any of that, and it was a shock, and they were surrounded. So she's like, "Oh, I need to act quick."
I mean, I guess it's what I would have done. I either would have done that, or I would have gone and jumped back. Which
I would have jumped off. I would have forever been fallen in a void of nothingness.
At least I'm still alive.
And I hear that void of nothingness actually is kind of like a shower. You just remain clean forever, and that's kind of my dream.
You don't pick up particles of dust and filth along the way? No?
Even the oil on your skin, that gets whisked away and goes into the void elsewhere.
That oil like protects me from the outside world, so I don't think that'd be a good idea. I'd get all dry and pasty.
No, but this is the forever void. You don't need to worry about that.
I'd still worry. My anxiety would still be there. I'd still be worried about my hair.
You'd have a perfect complexion, milky white skin while you're forever voiding.
I am forever avoiding, James. It's only once a week I talk to somebody, and it's you or Lindsay or Nate.
Or it's Forever the Void by Steve Kostansky, I believe is his name. And, there's some like blob thing that's eating people.
How about Forever Intravoid with Steve Barnes?
Yeah.
And I'm forever jamming. It's good to see Rand and Egwene are cuddling. I like this, that they're kind of back together again. But
ew, gross.
Yeah, that's what Perrin was saying. That's what Nynaeve was saying. They were like, we want some of that too. And we can't have it right now because this was before Nynaeve hooked up. So
this was also, I'm going to blame Loyal a little bit for the situation.
Okay.
Because he's like, hey, there's this thing here. You don't want to use the one power. And they're like, hey, wait, but what's that thing you warned us about? How important is it? Oh, okay, you're just going to leave and not tell us what would happen if we use the power.
No, I think he does tell them, right? Doesn't he say Makan Shin will come get you or something?
What's the Makan Shin? And he says, oh, hey, that Aes Sedai, she's walking fast, and us old gears,
right.
We ain't really on the quick thing.
That's true. That's right. Yeah, that Makan Shin did show up, and it said a bunch of evil stuff to everybody.
Do you think there's a dark friend Ogier who is letting them into the ways?
That would be like one of the scariest things you could ever imagine is dark friend Ogier, because obviously Trollocs are dark friends, but they're really stupid and they don't act of their own accord. They act of the accord of those half men, those teethy guys. Mm-hmm. So if you had a free thinking Ogier that was also a dark friend that could also manipulate people and lie to people and mislead people and lead them into the ways, yeah, that would be. I do not think that it was a dark friend Ogier that helped along here, but just the thought of a dark friend Ogier is pretty scary because he could definitely. I mean, I don't know. He'd be in line to defeat the dragon. I mean, that'd be a pretty powerful person.
All right, I'm just saying it might turn up.
It could. I mean, I'm having more leanings towards Padden Fane because that's who they're showing us all the time. And they're showing us Padden Fane a lot. And you probably caught him at least 2 or 3 times in this episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they pointed him out to him. Perrin pointed him out to us. But, I mean, you can clearly see him a couple of times without Perrin having to tell you. I think that was just for the more slow-witted. That was for the Wetlander humor people. They wanted to point that out.
Well, originally I thought that was Matt coming through and he was evil. But then I was like, oh, okay, he's there.
I don't want to evil Matt. Matt's looking pretty evil these days, and we didn't see him at all this episode, so I am worried about Matt. I don't know.
I will say real quick that while we're here, we kind of get everyone's abilities peeking through. You get dark vision finally coming up. You get the whispering that Egwene, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
You see that. You get the powers of Nynaeve, and then Rand, he's not really doing much.
I guess you're right, but everybody kind of looks to him for like what to do next. He's like kind of has charisma and leadership that may not be coming through on the screen, but it's definitely there where everybody has kind of looked up to Rand for a long time. And I think it had something to do with the fact that he didn't grow up inside the village. You know what I mean? He lived like on the hilltop with his dad. So I think it's just for the fact that he wasn't around a whole lot that, kind of like he had more of a mythos for people in his village.
And they literally used to have to look up at him.
Literally. Like he'd be like, hey, y'all. They'd be like, huh? And they'd look up. Yeah, there's Rand. We look up to you, buddy.
He's got one of those long, bull horns.
Ricola.
And he's just like, hey, guys. He's got a shotgun bullhorn.
Don't forget, he can tear a door down like nobody's business. So Rand is tearing doors down. Don't take that away from him.
We don't see that in the... I wish we had, like, all their special abilities started being noticed specifically in the ways.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right.
That just would have been cool, story writing-wise.
Yeah, but even Perrin, though. I mean, Perrin's abilities came out a couple episodes back.
But like, this is when everyone else is starting to see it within the story.
Yeah, I get you. Something else happened in the ways besides some cuddling and besides some Mockingjin. Oh, yeah, the Mockingjin saying all the evil stuff. Or not evil stuff, but the manipulative stuff. I know it would be telling me I'm a terrible dad and that, I'm just a terrible person. Nobody likes me. I might as well die. That's what Mockingjin would tell me. What would it be telling you?
I don't know. It'd be saying, you actually do have a big penis.
You'd be like, no, I want it to be tiny for comedic purposes.
No, I'm trying to. I always think, hey, I have an average size, but then people keep saying that it's not, and I'm like, guys, it is, because I'm trying to stake claim as the average man, and I can't be the average man if something on me is exceptional.
Well, who are these people that are claiming that it's big? Are these people that have actually seen it?
One person specifically, you know who that person is.
Okay.
And the Horror Crunk Entertainment, when I sent in that unused album cover, they're like, holy shit, Marsh Land Monster's got a hog. And I'm like, it's not, guys. It's not.
It was a fluffer helping me out that day.
No, I didn't do that.
You just got
sick perv.
You got that BDE, baby. Come on,
I
James.
don't. I have very small dick energy.
Well, if you want us to believe that, then we believe it. This is the power of audio. Everybody who's listening knows it's average at best.
Yes.
What else happened in Mockingjin? Oh yeah, there was a lot of Rand sticking up for Matt talk, that was later. No, that was here in the.
It was both throughout.
Yeah, Rand loves to stick up for his boy Matt, and I hope Matt doesn't turn around and stab him in the back for that, because Rand's sweet. He loves his boy Matt. Do you agree with Rand?
What, that Matt's cool?
Like all the stuff he's saying about Matt. Like Egwene is like a little skeptical of the guy. Like he's just going to run off, go home. He's no help to nobody. He sucks. Rand's like, nah, he's with us. He'd help us. He's one of us. He's our dude. Like,
I mean, they're both wrong.
Okay, well, then what's the right answer then?
He clearly knows that he can't help right now because of his current state, and he's probably going to look for help.
I hope so.
I don't think he's going back home.
Yeah, I don't think so
either. He's probably going to stay in the city. Well, we know he's going to be staying in the city if the Reds get him.
Yeah, that was something pretty intense. Maybe that's why I wrote down the Red Aja, but that was way before. I still don't know why I wrote that down, but I know now that Moraine sent word to the Red Aja. She sent Matt Cawthon's name to the Red Aja, which was, I don't know, that was spooky words. That was spooky words.
I would have sent the yellows.
Yeah, or her dudes, the blues. Yeah. That'd be the best.
Well, I mean, why would the blues go?
Because they are like the spies. They're always used to traveling, and I don't know. It seems like they would be the more secretive, and they would be less prone to steal him or treat him like crap, like the Reds would.
I would say a strong yellow with some greens to back up just in case things break bad.
Yeah. Yellow would be good because in case something's wrong, which we know something is. We don't know the after effects of that dagger, but I don't know.
I would like to say it'd be pretty funny if those locusts got out. What are they called?
Mockingjin?
If the Mockingjin got out and just destroyed the ecosystem around them. You know, like when a crocodile is all of a sudden in an area that does not have crocodile and it lays eggs and it just lays waste to the indigenous life cycle over there.
I've got a great idea. Why don't they let the Mockingjin loose into the blight and they can eat up all that vegetation and crap?
It's just telling the blight, hey, you'll never be as good as a rose.
All your thorns are crappy with skulls. But yeah, instead of going to the blight, they take a detour out to Faldara because the Makinshin chases them out. We're not really doing a recap here, James. We're just talking. We get to Faldara and we meet Lord Agomar, Lady Amalissa. We meet men, and we catch little glimpses of Padan Fane, which we've already talked about.
Real quick, imagine if Perrin was allowed to follow up on his intuition. The next episode would not have happened the way it did.
Wait, what was his intuition? Remind me.
He's like, oh, wasn't that Padan Fane? And then Nynaeve says, oh, no, he died.
Yes.
And it's like, bitch, you didn't. And I use bitch as in like an endearing thing. I'm not really calling her that. It's like, dude, no, like if I was her friend, if I was Perrin, I'd be like, oh, hell no. We thought the same about you. And all of a sudden you're here.
Yeah. Padan Fane needs checking on. They trust him still at this point. They still think he's just the goofy dude who's selling wares, selling lanterns to kids in Two Rivers. So there's no reason he would be there. But they should have followed up with Perrin. You're right.
This is a situation of, oh, I'm in Florida, I'm hanging out at Disneyland, and all of a sudden I see my friend from high school, Nate Mumford. Holy Christmas! I'm gonna go hang out with you for a little bit.
Yeah, and Wolfram Mom was like, no, that can't be Mumford. Get out of here. No way that's him.
Yeah.
He's still in Chicago. He's still in Minnesota or whatever it was at the time. Michigan. Wherever you were living at the time. Yeah, third time's a charm. But I'm going to take a quick break, James. When we get back, we're going to go over the rest of the episode. And I also have a quiz for you, my pal. Are you ready for a quiz?
Yeah, and I have another boom of a bombshell plot-wise.
Boom. We'll be right back. Current Wheel of Time news that we're up to date on. The only thing we know for now is that Tom is coming back in season 3. That's been all over the internet. And we know the season 2 is coming in 2023. That's great.
And here's some spoiler news, so skip ahead 15 seconds. It might feature all 5 of Rand's love interests.
5 of Rand's love interests. Okay, all right. So I know about one, obviously, Egwene.
Yes.
There's another one I know about that has been featured on the show, but it's a secret.
Whoa!
That you probably don't know yet, right?
I'm unaware.
Okay, yeah. So there's one that's already on the show. I know of another one for sure that hasn't been on the show yet, hasn't even been mentioned.
Who probably gonna be in season 2?
Okay, the other one, yes, has been announced that she's going to be in season 2. The 5th one, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I only know about 4 of Rand love interests. I don't know of a 5th one. It's
His
James.
5th? No, himself.
He loves himself. He loves TLL.
You gotta love yourself in order to love others. I'm kidding. I love Nicole very much, and I hate myself. Okay, would you like me to discuss my theories of who the dragon is?
I've been thinking about that during the break, and yes, I need to hear some bombshells. Let's hear it.
Okay, so they go to a seer.
Right. Men.
And everyone's auras are revealed.
Okay.
We get someone who has a white aura, and then someone has a gold ring. We're not specifically told who has what, but we can assume that Nynaeve has the white aura because we've seen that in her.
Okay.
And the gold ring is Egwene.
Okay, why do you say that?
Well, because we know the yellow eyes are what's his face?
Yeah.
And then Rand has the baby.
Yes.
So I can only assume that the gold ring is Egwene because we've seen the white, like that's her story arc so far has been like, oh, I'm going to do this huge gust of white light.
Right.
So I think either Egwene is the dragon.
Okay.
Or all 5 of them are like complete the dragon because the seer says, wow, this is strange. I have never seen this before. All of them have these sparkles connecting them.
Right.
And we get, when Rand comes back, the first vision she saw was when this man was going up to battle at Dragon Point or whatever. And then it's literally what happened in the beginning, the cold brrr open.
Yes.
And she said what ended up happening to this man was like an impossible thing. Like this was an impossible person. That implies, oh, he's the dragon. No. She said that link between them, never seen it before. That could be the impossible thing. That he is linked and all 5 of them are the dragon. That in order to defeat the Dark One, they have been split into 5 and all 5 of them will need to be there. And if Rand or what Matt was intentionally given that dagger and intentionally made to think that he killed this entire family by maybe a dark friend of what's his face, the bard,
Tom,
and or just the Fade doing that to him, implanting that doubt into him, he is going to leave. So the Dark One, hell yeah. Fuck yes. No problem here. Then the Locust, what are they called? I keep forgetting.
Mockin' Shin.
The Mockin' Shin, they implant that of like, oh, hey, because this is doubt. They're seeding things that people are doubting themselves at, which means like she says, do not listen to this Mockin' Shin. What they are saying is not what you should be following. So he shouldn't be following the thing that like, and Rand has been kind of, what would you, like self-absorbed a little bit, at least in my eyes.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to be like, well, I'm the person who needs to save everyone.
Right.
So I guess not self-absorbed, thinking that he needs to protect all of his friends. How do I do that? Well, I'm the dragon. I need to go. The Dark One, we find out, is not killed, which means he is not the dragon reborn or, oh, he's not strong, like he hasn't been trained enough. No.
He needs his pals with him.
Yes, the Dark One intentionally made it so only one of them went, because also what's her face was implanted with the Mockin' Shin of saying like, oh, you're going to kill all of them. And she thinks, oh, everyone besides the dragon is going to be killed. This is also good story-wise. Like when you're writing this, oh, well, how do we keep pushing this story further? Sure. Oh, we're going to find out who the dragon is on episode 8? No. If we're going to be minimum doing 5 seasons, which I've heard like they want to do the first 5 books or whatever, like when do we find out who the dragon is in book-wise?
It's pretty clear by... I don't know how much book lore I want to go into. I will say that book 1 is written almost exclusively from Rand's point of view. And then book 2 and book 3 are by that point, you're pretty positive who the dragon is. Okay,
so I truly think that it's going to be all 5 of them. They all need to be together. And that's why they're putting an importance on, hey, I would die for Matt. Like when Egwene eventually says that, like, I don't have an issue with Matt. I have an issue with you thinking I have an issue with him, but he's not well. Like he can't help us right now. So I think... it's all 5 of them need to be there. Yeah, and they're all really protective of each other. Like some of them more obviously than others, but they all are really protective of one another big time. And maybe Perrin's like love for Egwene he's feeling right now is mixed up with the feeling of being like linked to her by being a part of the dragon, like you're saying. That's even something that Tom, your dark friend buddy, brought up. He said, no, it wasn't Tom. It was Moraine that said that she heard a tale from a bard of a many-headed dragon. Yeah, see? They implanted, like, there's these details. It's not Rand. It's all 5 of them. Yeah, they all 5 have something going on. You're absolutely right about that. And you put the 5 of them together, and it's like the Power Rangers. You got this huge force to deal with. It's very Power Ranger-esque in that sense. Yeah, or just any when you play Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
and that's like my main sense of fantasy.
Okay.
When you play that, if one of them, if all of a sudden the Dungeon Dragon or the Dungeon Master is like Dungeon Dragon, the Dungeon Master is like, you are the important one. You are what saves the rest of the party. The rest of the party's going to be like, well, why the
Yeah.
fuck are like that's not fun. But if all of us are,
Right.
that's good storytelling. So everyone champions everyone because they know it is all of us. It's
That's right.
all or nothing.
Yeah, what good is it to have like a warrior if you don't have like a cleric to like help heal them when they get wounded? And what good is a warrior without a cook to give him food and give him something? Yeah, I'm with you. I like that.
So now the Dark One will be freed because of some manipulation
Right.
with just Rand going, and now he's able to get stronger. And then they're going to find out, like, oh, it was all of us all along.
Yeah, and obviously, if that's the case, then Moraine has been misled because she's, like I've told you before, like it's not a show trick that you can work your way around. It's like steadfast rules. Like what men sees, her visions are going to come true 100%. Aes Sedai's like a true Aes Sedai cannot lie 100%. And we know Moraine is like the truest of the true. So she's not lying to them. She thinks that one of them will be the dragon and the rest of them will die. So yeah, I like this, James. I like the way you're thinking. I wonder how quick you can be on your feet with a pop quiz, however, dealing with the 5 dragons, I might say.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got 5 dragons. We've got, I'll go from the beginning. We've got our boy, Matt. We've got Matt, who's played by Barney Harris. Okay, he's one of the dragon.
Formerly.
So season 1, Matt was played by Barney Harris.
Yes.
What famous voice actor voiced Barney on Barney and Friends from 1988 to 2000?
Oh, wow. I don't get multiple choice.
No, I only wrote down the answer. I can make up multiple
Damn.
choice real quick.
Can I figure out, can you give one other role that you know of that this person did?
Woo! So many roles. Predominant voice on Futurama?
Oh, on Futurama? It's not the dude, is it? I know it's not John DiMaggio. So that it would have to be the dude who is also like Ren and Stimpy, right?
That's correct. What's that dude's
Why
name?
can't I know his? I used to know his name. I cannot think of it right now.
I thought this was one that you would just pop off your top of your head just like that. That's why I didn't even think about multiple choice, because I was like, James knows this one. We'll come back to it, because if you can remember it like in the next 5 minutes, I'll give you the points.
Okay, or give me initials.
Not yet, but I will. We'll come back to that one. Our red-headed dreamboat is Rand. What actor named Randy went from being a beloved actor of the 80s and 90s to being a political pariah as an ardent Trump supporter and election denier? An actor named Randy.
My guess would be Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid. You got 20 points on the board, James. Hell yeah. We're looking for 100 points in altogether, so you got 20 so far.
Okay.
All right. So, wanting to see the world is our young Egwene. In the movie Cool Hand Luke, how many eggs did he bet he could eat in an hour?
Wait, you need to repeat that because I was trying to think of the dude's name. Is it West or Adam? It's not Adam West.
Last name correct. Yes.
Okay. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
So, Egwene, how many eggs did Cool Hand Luke bet he could eat in an hour?
In what movie?
Cool Hand Luke.
I've never seen this.
Me neither, but I know this answer because it's like a regular pop culture question.
I don't know, a dozen?
That is incorrect, James. You gave me an answer and it is incorrect. You're going to miss that 20 points. But that was
all right.
50 hard-boiled eggs in 1 hour is the Cool Hand Luke thing. Referenced in a Beastie Boys song. So I don't know if maybe that might... I thought you would know that one too, just from the Beasties.
On what? Egg Raid on Mojo or...
somewhere on Paul's Boutique they talk about Cool Hand Luke.
It's probably in the... Not Egg Raid on Mojo, but the one where they talk about hitting people with eggs. Because first came the chicken and then I ate his leg, something like that.
Something like that. Well, you're still holding cool with, I'll give you 30 points because you got West. You just need to get that guy's first name and you'll get your extra 10 points. But moving on, we got Zoe Robbins, who played our Nynaeve. She also played the White Ninja in Power Rangers Ninja Steel. What fictitious country star played the Gold Ranger in Ninja Steel?
Levi.
Whoa, you got it. Oh, yes, James. I have total faith in you, man. You're there. All right.
If you ask me for he used a hamburger phone, but I don't know his last name.
I'm shocked that you got the first name. I'll give it to you. Levi Watson.
Oh, I don't ever think that's ever revealed.
Really?
Levi Watson, unless like that's his country name.
It is.
But they quickly move away from him being a country star because it's a revelation, spoiler alerts for Ninja Steel, that he is the brother of the Red Ranger.
Right. So he becomes the Gold Ranger eventually, leaving this country star behind, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. What a undelight for Nashville. What?
He balances a little bit of like, hey, I'll do both of these.
As you should, yeah. And like we balance our lives with our hobbies. Levi should as well. Last question. Hope you get this one right, and then we'll go back to Mr. West. I think you got this one too, James. Perrin is sometimes called, in the books, Perrin Goldeneyes. What actor portrayed the Goldeneye era of James Bond?
Ooh, that's Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, you got it, buddy. Heck yes, man. Nice, James. And so now, this man voiced Ren and Stimpy. He voiced multiple people on Futurama. Mr. West, his first name has just one syllable. He's a two-syllable man like Steve Barnes. He's West.
I can't get an initial.
All right, I'll give you an initial for 5 points. It's B. West.
Bill?
You lost your 5. It's Bob West.
Bob West?
Bob West. That's his name.
Oh, I guess I never like hear that man's name talked about as much as it should be.
It should be. It should be on everybody's tongues, man. This guy is great. He's done everything. Are you looking him up right now? I can see you going to Computer Zone.
This is not the guy that I was thinking it was. There's another guy that I was thinking would be this man.
Okay, and who is that man you were thinking would be this man?
Wait, no, Bob West is not. No, sir, you're thinking of a different person. This guy was not on Futurama.
What? No?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, Bob West. This could be a completely inaccurate podcast.
No, Billy West. Billy West is... Because did I say Bill?
You did say Bill West.
Okay, all right. Well, give me the 5.
Did I get that wrong? Is his name not Bob West? Is it Billy West?
No. Billy West is the person from Futurama. Bob West is the Barney.
Oh, no. Oh, James, I screwed up again. Oh, I suck at quizzes.
And Billy West, because when I saw the face, I was like, that is not the man who voiced Ren and Stimpy and a bunch of other characters.
Well, I had a bunch of fun coming up with these questions anyway, even if they were inaccurate. I need to check.
It was good.
I need to check the accuracy of these other ones. Now, these other ones are absolutely correct. Randy Quaid, 50 Hard-Boiled Eggs, Levi Watson, Pierce Brosnan, Bob West, who is not Billy West. Get your names right, Steve. All right.
I got a couple more notes. One, an adult totally dubbed that child's voice in the... that's an adult voice, not a child's.
Wait, where are you talking about?
In that dinner eating scene in today's episode.
When she's like, did you kill all those Trollocs? That kind of deal?
Yeah.
Yes. I think so, too. I think that old man is... super delighted. I mean, he's like the most delighted person I've seen in my life. It was unnerving, but I don't know.
There's a scene where Rand's like, oh, of course I would be your warder. Who else would be it? Here's a parody. If you want to be my warder. I don't know any of the other lyrics that would be encompassed in that.
You got to get with my Rand.
No, if you want to be my warder. No, like, why would you have to get with my Rand?
Because that's what it says in the song. If you're going to be my lover, you got to get with my friends.
Yeah, but why would you have to get with Rand to be a warder?
He's like one of the fail points. You have to get with Rand if you want to be a warder and be a sword wielder. You first got to get with Rand. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
Jeez, man. Well, I know that, let's see. Oh, we get the Nynaeve and Land hookup here. Nynaeve follows Land into the dude's kitchen and has dinner with all them, and then they hook up. And that's a pretty great scene. I mean, I like all of it. I do not like... I think this happened not in the ways. It happened when they were still talking about what they're going to do. And, you know, Rand is the voice. No, not Rand. Egwene is the voice of reason mostly in that room. But when Perrin does like the lean in to Rand, like he's going to kick his ass or something, and like the shadow falls across Rand's face, and then Rand steps back and like the light just shines up Rand's face and he gives that big Rand smile. I love stuff like that. I mean, I think it's telling that, you know, the shadow crossed across his face and he steps back from the shadow and he's pure light. I mean, storytelling, baby. I love it.
Oh, maybe. So is he going to become Two-Face?
Maybe. Maybe he'll
You're like, wait,
eliminate
James,
the shadow.
What the hell are you talking about? In Batman stuff, you always see Two-Face before, you know, when he's just Harvey Dent. Always one side will be shadowed in a face, and then the other as he's talking to Batman or someone.
Yeah.
And then, that's a side that gets all acidy.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that, I don't know. I just like the fact that it was Perrin that made the shadow come across Rand's face, and I hope it doesn't come up in the future as some kind of foreshadowing, if we will, some forehead shadowing. We talked about Min, how she's always correct, and how the visions that she saw. And I like your synopsis that they could all
There's also one other thing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
With her vision, she says, "Oh, I don't see you coming back," because he doesn't come back.
Right. Yeah, he runs off. She was right about that one. Was she also right about the rainbows and the carnivals and the 3 beautiful women?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Like 5 of them are coming back, and love interest wise.
I know. She said 3, but who are these extra 2? I think they're just kind of, you know, hose on the side, maybe. I don't know, Rand.
Oh, watch your language, sir.
Carnivals, though, I hope we get to see some of that. We haven't seen like a lot of fun stuff in this world except for like that first day of Beltane. Hasn't been a whole lot of. I mean, I guess the cities are okay, but I want to see this carnival. I want to see what they got going on in that.
I love a movie set in a carnival. However, Ghoulies 2 couldn't even be saved by that setting because it's a bunch of that like natural or not natural light. Just the carnival lighting is enough to light your scene. And that's why I love it so much.
Yeah. Like nighttime carnival. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Even at daytime, I didn't, you know, step by step, the intro is in a carnival setting.
Well, I think they would have to have daytime carnivals in this world. I mean, I know that Aes Sedai can make lights happen, and I know that candles exist, obviously, but we want to be resourceful. We want to have our light in the daytime when there's already plentiful light.
Yeah.
The rainbows, though, I actually know what's up with the carnivals. I know what's up with the 3 women, but the rainbows, maybe somebody can write in and clue me in, somebody who has read the books also, because I do not...
Wait, I thought she was just being facetious.
No,
and sarcastic.
I think that's what she actually saw.
Oh.
I mean, she ain't gonna lie about that shit. She's straight up. She's men. All right. And like I said, I know a carnival's coming up. I know 3 women, but the rainbows, I want to see what that means. I have no idea. You got it?
Maybe she misspoke.
Okay.
Rand bows because he was it's Rand
those
with the arrows, which on that he's sitting in bed. And I know like when you're laying in bed and you can't fall asleep because you know there's a work you could be doing. Oh, baby, did I relate to this?
I hear you. Except his work is he wants to go shoot some bows. Is that what you usually do in the middle of the night? You're waking up. I got to go shoot some bows at some targets.
Well, I am cutting things, i.e., in the edit.
Yeah, and you're getting it like right on, just like Rand. You're like following the void and the flame, and you're getting those edits at the exact second that you need it. Those words are flowing smoothly, just as if the light itself has taken over your podcast. Is that right?
Yeah, kind of. I'm kind of lax now.
I am too.
Like, I have way too much to do. No one even cares. Like, no one notices. They're like, oh, we're fine with it being unedited. And I'm like, I guess. I'm spending people will listen at 1.25 speed, so technically my edits might make it even worse for their listening experience.
Yeah, I've gotten much looser on the edits too. I've long pauses I take out, but you and I don't do a lot of long pauses. We talk right over top of not on top of each other, but I finish, you start. You finish, I start. It's like
just like sex.
I'm finished, you're finished, we're both finished.
Oh, no. Someone finishes and then the other person starts.
And it's like an ever-going process where both of y'all are just edging the whole time?
Oh, no, one finishes and one starts.
Okay.
And then the other finishes and starts, and it's a circular thing.
I'm not feeling your analogy on this one too much, James.
Well, I'm very hungry.
I think that sex is a thing where like you do it at the same time, and the goal
that was the joke. Like you wouldn't want someone to finish then the other one to start, because then they're like, I'm done.
I'm on the spectrum. I can't tell when you're joking, James. I just do not know. It's all literal words to me. No.
We talk a lot about being on the spectrum on this week's episode of Mostly Babbling Bible Man.
Babble that Bible Man. I guess it's a good time to wrap it up. We didn't do like a huge walkthrough here, but we are where we're at, James.
We got it done. And I know that there's something else I wanted to bring up while I had you on the call here and we were recording. It's out of my head right now. So you got... Was it?
Yeah.
Was it like, hey, can I play Odd Walla this week or something? I don't know.
Hey, James, I need to get a song on for this week. So do you got a song we can maybe plug on the show and maybe play and provide a link to?
Well, I don't know about providing a link to, but this week, March 24th, Odd Walla with Dragon Boy Suede is out wherever music is found.
Oh, heck yeah. I thought you were going to tell me that it's out now and I can plug it in this show, but we're plugging it in
I don't know when this comes out.
It comes out as soon as we're done, basically.
All right.
It's supposed to come out Monday night, and it's Tuesday. What can you do? But I'll figure out some song to put on there, James. And Odd Walla, we're checking it out. We've already heard it there on the Grift Horse Discord, and we love it. It's classic Dragon Boy Suede stuff. Everybody else is going to love it too. James, I love the fact that you're working with him now because it seems like you know his voice and you know how to, mix songs with him and provide him with beats. I like it, man.
Hell yeah, thank you.
I'm not just saying that like as, like I'm, because we're friends or whatever. I was a fan of yours before I met you, so it's sincere words. So we have the Odd Walla plug. James, here's your opportunity to get one more plug in before we hang up.
Patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday.
Heck yeah. And for me, you can find me over at Intro Void. All my music's up there on Spotify and all the streaming places. Keep listening to Sweet Shot of Time because we're going to start doing Dark pretty soon. I'm kind of nervous because it is a pretty intense show. We're going to be talking about all kinds of intense topics. I'm into it. But for us at Sweet Shot of Time, that's it for this week. Join us next week where we're going to be talking about episode 8 of Wheel of Time. James and myself wrapping that series up before next season 2 starts up. Sweet Shot of Time. James, I hope you and all the listeners always find lots of water and shade.
I hope you just find water as you're saying, chips ahoy.
Yummy. Bye-bye, James.
Because if you're on a boat and you can't find water, sorry, boat's not effective.
You're landlocked, buddy. Bye.
Bye.